Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back from the OPTC video. In today's video, we managed to pull the new S-Snake PvP Legend, and in today's video, we're going to dive in, see how she rocks and see how she rolls over in PvP, as she's obviously a PvP Legend. She should do very, very well, and she's pretty much the final piece to the quick puzzle that we needed for PvP, because the quick team was starting to shape up quite nicely with Boa and Luffy, but it was sort of missing like one very good nerfer. So we're doing a lot of stuff with Blackbeard, we're doing a lot of stuff with Pikqchu, who all work very, very well. However, with the addition of this S-Snake, you can do some absolutely crazy things. Her Rumble ability, fighter class and quick type teammates get attack up level 8, enemies get level 5 defensive down, which is exceptionally good for Boa and Luffy. Both of those characters don't bypass defensive effects, but when you throw together all these nerfers that reduce defense so drastically, and you're like already looking in the negative defenses, or you throw half stats in that Pikqchu can do, the damage that Luffy and Boa is just absolutely astronomically buffed. 6 or more fighter or driven class allies on the team. All enemies get level 7 attack down, 3 CD. If there are 5 or more shooter class enemies on the field, she gives herself a 30% reduction, which is absolutely insane. And then her special targets 1 debuff style enemy for CT of 50%. Delay targets 2 high attack enemies for 100% chance to action bind. And if 6 fighter or driven class characters on the team, which we definitely want to have, targets 1 enemy for high CT for 100% chance to confuse for 10 seconds. If there are 5 more shooter enemies, target self for CT seed up level 5. So you're going up against a bunch of shooter characters. She's going to work exceptionally well. We're going to do that in today's video, and we're also going to take on some of the challenge fights as well. But hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff with that said. Let's dive in. Alright, so I'm going to start it off with a bunch of shooter fights. This was just my 3 PvP fights that I managed to find for the day. They're not exactly like the peak of investments, but they still have a lot of very good and a lot of very relevant PvP units on the team. So starting off, we have the Kuzan and Caulifla variation of the shooter team. It hits very, very hard. You got some half stats with Caulifla. Like, Kuzan just goes absolutely crazy. Usopp, Lilith, and Lulu are pretty much staples across the board. But as you can see, we're lowering so much defense passively thanks to Blackbeard, Luffy, and Pikqchu that we managed to kill Lulu literally just with normal attacks, which is just absolutely berserk. Now, we're obviously taking a lot of nerfs ourselves thanks to Usopp, Lilith, and S-Snake. But with just all of the extras that we're getting from our synergy with Blackbeard, and his nerfing, Pikqchu having the 6, I think it's 6, or it might be 5. Either way, we have it. It's 5 or 6 driven or fighter characters on the team, which is the same as the S-Snake requirements too. You just basically get a whole bunch of nerfing from him. He can provide a shield, which means you don't need that much defense because you can protect yourself with the shield mechanic. He also half stats as well, which allows Luffy and Boa to go absolutely ballistic. Thing with shooters too, though, like, the amount of characters they bring out to try and nerf shooters, like with the new PP Carrot, and now with this PP S-Snake, shooters can still find good RNG where things pop at the right time and they're just basically unstoppable. That is becoming less and less, and that's always what PvP has been about. Like, PvP is always a game mode of reducing the amount of RNG that is in front of you to guarantee yourself the win. The win chance is never going to be 100% unless, like, obviously the investment is just so disgustingly high, but 9 times out of 10 you can basically make the RNG percentage like 99.99999% chance of winning, and with that, like, you can almost guarantee yourself a win. But with shooters, like, they have that ability to just sort of bypass everything thanks to the rollbacks that Usopp Lilith can provide, with the confusion that they can do with the sword unit, as well as the what's it called, the S-Snake unit. So, like, they can do some pretty crazy things. But if you ever do see, like, shooters and you are running your own PvP S-Snake, you are going to do some crazy things. Because, like, just being able to start with 30% more cooldown is absolutely wild. On top of that, she lowers the CD of the enemy, so she slows them down. Plus, she's on a 24-second cooldown. So that 30% charge is actually pretty damn big. It's like something like a 7-second, like, head start, which is just kind of crazy when you have 7 seconds. However, like, you obviously need speed as well. You need to go at the right time, because as you can see, like, Blackbeard, he has that level 10 CD reduction, so he's going pretty damn fast. But he was ready to go first, and he obviously pops his special off first, which, look, we're not mad about. Blackbeard on this team, as long as you have 5 powerhouse characters, which is super easy to do once you throw Blackbeard, Luffy, and Boa into the mix. You just need to just find 2 characters on your bench to be powerhouse, and the easiest way to do that is just to use those driven powerhouse meta characters like Blue Gem, Fuji, Porchemi, like those types of units are all going to fit perfectly on the bench, not only to satisfy the powerhouse condition, but also satisfy the driven condition and satisfy the quick condition for Boa. She needs 6 quick characters on the team, so that way she can get the most out of all of her abilities. Finally, because we have a legend slot still, this team is very reminiscent of the other team that I put out when I did the Luffy showcase. Shout out to Itachi once again. We basically just push Crossguard to the bench, and then we just bring S-Snake in the front. If you're missing, say, Pika, you could just bring Crossguard in the front. If you're missing, say, S-Snake, you just bring Crossguard in the front. Like, there's ways of running this team that, in terms of nerfing, that just aren't as strong, but still hold great viability within either Grand Party, other PvP matches, and stuff like that too. So, S-Snake, she's honestly, like, kind of blown me away. The one thing I completely missed when I first read her passive was the fact that she gives a level 5 defensive drop. Initially, I didn't see that in her kit, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, she's doing a lot of nerfing, but she's not doing the nerfing that counts. And then when I went back and reread it, I can't remember if it was in my Alliance chat or if it was in the actual breakdown video. I reread it, saw the defense drop, and was like, holy shit, actually, that's really, really good. And lucky for us, we managed to pick her up on the 6th multi. Unlucky I wasn't recording, but yeah, we just did one more and managed to grab her. I had a lot on her over the weekend with my son's first birthday party and stuff like that too, so didn't have too much time to actually record, especially with like voiceovers and stuff like that too. But as you can see, like shooter teams, like we're going up against a whole bunch of different variations of them, and the shooter team sort of can't really hold a candle to what this quick powerhouse team, or let's call it powerhouse, I guess, but it's not really powerhouse. They can't really hold a candle to what we're doing, because we're slowing them down so much that we're managing to get our specials off first, and they don't have a lot of defense to begin with, but we're already nerfing them so much that stuff like Luffy and Boa literally just wipe the whole team. Alright, so let's dive into some of the challenge stuff. Now, I'm only going to dive into 2 challenge fights here. We're going to take on the Alpha in fight, because I feel like that's probably the hardest fight. Could go into the Striker fight, but I don't want this video to be too long. I thought I would just take on S-Snake at the end as well, and sort of compare her to her fighter team to what the more quick-centric team actually looks like too. I feel like the quick team, you can do some things. Like, I don't want to say it's bad, because like you have characters like 6+ Zora that came out. Frankie can even hold a candle in that team as well. Like, you can do some pretty nice stuff with quick, but Blackbeard and Pika's additions to this team, they just make it, I don't know, I don't want to say synergize better, because like they obviously don't synergize better because they're not quick, but at the same time, like the things that Pika and Blackbeard are doing for the team, other quick units can't do. Cross-kill with the rollback is quite nice, but even still, like, you just need that defensive drop. You need to be able to drop defense or half stats, which quick doesn't really have a very good half stats unit that I can think of. You could maybe run like Magellan 6+ if you guys are really looking for a budget option. And then that way you get the defensive drops that way. You obviously have Kaido as well, 6+ Kaido, he can drop defense. But all of this is on special activation, not just pure passive of being like injected into the game. So look, Pika has definitely rose the ranks. He's probably like number 2 best PvP legend for me now. He just finds his way onto literally every single team. He's great in Assault Rumble, he's great in Grand Party, he's great in Regular Rumble. It's absolutely wild what the man is actually doing, and how disgusting he is on not only this team, but a bunch of other teams too. And Resurgence of Blackbeard, he was always fantastic on the initial quick team, because like it was very powerhouse centric, like when 6+ Kaido and Magellan did first come out. Blackbeard was a staple over there too, because you could just easily fill that requirement for him, and then allow, again, Magellan and Kaido to hit ridiculously hard. But now we have this new era of Boa and Luffy, who are just doing what Kaido and Magellan are doing on absolute steroids. So fantastic stuff. So the special of S-Snake is terrific as well. Again, you don't need to be going up against a 5 shooter build to get the most out of her value. You don't really need that extra 30% cooldown. Whilst it is insane, it's not exactly required, because she's already on a 24-second cooldown anyway. She has disgusting nerfing, not only in her, like, we just literally killed S-Snake, like the enemy S-Snake, like wild. She has the ability to roll back 50% of a character special, which is so good when you're going up against characters like Blackbeards, Pikas. There's all those characters that just do disgusting things super quickly. Having S-Snake go early, stuff like Usopp Lilith as well is another really good option, and Nami Karina. Just having her go super early to stop that, and then action bind units, confuse units, it's so freaking handy. On top of that, she keeps you alive as well, because she uses attack down. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's